Good morning, guys, and welcome to the Opinion Post. And I told you I bring both sides of the story, even if they're not what I'd like to see. But this is just where the other day I was talking, and I was telling you about the Republicans laying down with the tail between their legs. Well, that's exactly what they do, most of them. There's only a few in there that's worth anything, that's going to stick by the Republican president. But the rest, they're fools. The whole Congress is full of nothing but fools. Both sides of the aisle, not just the Democrats, Republicans too. And there needs to be change in there. I think there needs to be term limits. I think we need to set those term limits as the people, and take back the government fully and get it back on track to where it was. You know, when when America was born, and they decided to have the House and the Senate and all that, they were first only paid for the days they were in Congress, were actually working. Now they're paid every day. They get paid for every day, even when they're on recess. And it wasn't meant to be a get-rich job. It wasn't meant for career. I think when it first started, there was term limits. I can't believe how screwed up the government is right now. They're screwed up. They don't know what they're doing, half of them. Half of them follow the leader, and the other half just sit there with their tail between their legs. The Democrats are some of the evilest people I've ever seen in Congress. I don't know what it is about this. When Trump got hired, if he triggered the devil or what, but hey, it's out there. Yeah. But Republicans have to let Donald Trump lose if they want victory. I'm not sure what that's about, but we're going to get into it right now. So, I'll just start right in here somewhere. Let me pop that up there.
Watching Republicans walk themselves off a proverbial cliff is stunning and stupefying, all at the same time. It is stunning because of the inability of Republicans in Congress to appreciate the long-term ramifications of their short-term victories. It's stupefying because of the demographic shifts that are transforming the Republican Party into a purely regional party that could go the way of the Whigs. There is clearly no long-term plan from Republicans in Congress, other than to distract away from the scandals and dismiss the barrage of criticisms coming from inside their political house. For years, he's a sinking ship that is going to take the whole. Copyright Getty Images. Republicans have to let Donald Trump lose if they want victory. The lore of Donald Trump may be that of a political survivor, one who broke every rule imaginable while managing to avoid removal. But to a majority of voters, he is also an uninformed, unprepared, and unsteady political actor in the midst of a historic crisis. Republicans in Congress are finally beginning to say publicly what many have said privately to me for years: he's a sinking ship that is going to take the whole crew down if we don't do something about it. Yet Republicans continue to do nothing about it. Symbolic gestures like putting on masks despite the president's erratic messaging or pushing back on his calls to delay an election few people think he can win sprout up periodically. But the political courage, or even self-serving outcry, that many expected in the wake of consistently bad polling has failed to surface in any substantial fashion. Instead, After record unemployment numbers, historically grotesque death totals, and the type of erratic and unpresidential behavior reserved for Saturday morning cartoon characters, Republicans in Congress have stunningly and stupefyingly decided to stick with the president. A decision that voters will not forget or forgive. Make no mistake about it, voters are angry. Almost 160,000 families will be without a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, or a friend this Labor Day. As a result of the White House's failed leadership regarding the coronavirus, an estimated 200,000 families will set one less plate at Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner. An absolutely avoidable tragedy, with irreversible consequences. While the White House would like congressional Republicans to believe otherwise, this is not the 2016 election. As 538 recently pointed out, Clinton's lead over Trump still wasn't as large as Biden's is now. There is no magic rabbit or mysterious elixir for Trump to pull out of his oversized suit and change his political fortune. The President of the United States and the party he calls home are headed towards an overwhelming and decisive defeat. So much so, that Republican operatives have enlisted the help of a celebrity in the midst of a mental breakdown to siphon away votes from former Vice President Joe Biden. Rather than publicly admit that they overplayed their hand and allowed Trump's cultish personality to grab hold of the party, Republicans would rather use gross diversionary tactics that are only destined to further turn off suburban women and minority voters. The very people who put control over the House of Representatives into the hands of the Democratic Party. The 2018 midterms were not an outlier, but rather a warning message to the party of Lincoln. The country is not better off than it was in 2016. It is much worse. Racial divisions are deepening, our economy is cratering, and faith in institutions is at an all-time high. If the president wanted America to resemble Russia, he certainly succeeded in his mission. For the life of me, I can't understand why Republicans in Congress have continued to go along, especially in the Senate where elections occur every 6 years. If Republicans want to win again, they must lose first. It's the only way to shake the stench of the past 4 years. Manifesting unyielding loyalty to a man who is only loyal to himself seems to me like nothing short of political malpractice. Much like the response to the coronavirus, things didn't have to end up this bad. Voters would have forgiven Republicans for their craven power grab, that's the nature of the business, they would have said. What they can't forgive and will take decades to forget, is the doubling down on lemming-like behavior. Walking themselves off a cliff is one thing. Walking the country and the people off a cliff is another. Short-term pain for long-term gain is now the only strategy that will allow Republicans to emerge from the Trump years with any semblance of a national party. Would it be pretty? No. But is it necessary? Absolutely. Anything else is stunning and stupefying, all at the same time. Michael Starr Hopkins is the founder of Northern Star Strategies and the host of the Starr Report podcast. Follow his updates at Theonly Honest. Video, worried about his unpredictability, Trump advisors reportedly hold back on military options, viewer. 2447. 126. HQ. Worried about his unpredictability, Trump advisors reportedly hold back on military options. Copyright 2020 Microsoft.
Alright guys, I just wanted to show you that. And you know that I'm going to bring you both sides, whether it's good or whether it's bad. I'm not exactly sure what to believe about the Hill. I'm not exactly sure what to believe about the coronavirus is real. I don't care what anybody says, and it is being downplayed by the president because he wants to get the economy back up and running, because that's president's biggest thing is getting the the Congress are getting the economy up. You know, Barack Obama ruined our economy. He sold us to China and any country that would offer to pay for it. And he raised the taxes on these companies that were in here in the United States, knowing that if he pushed them too hard, they would leave, and they did. Now Trump's trying to get all that back, and I applaud Trump for that. But on the other hand, he has got to stop messing around with this coronavirus, downplaying. He's got to stop that. I mean, it's real, it's out there, people's got it. I know people that has it. And if he keeps downplaying it, people are eventually not going to vote for him, and the Republicans are staying away from him right now for some reason. I don't know if that's got anything to do with it or not. But there is an article that I'm going to look up here in a few minutes, and if I find it, I'll bring it to you. That the Republicans are saying that they can't stand behind his coronavirus downplay. And there's a lot of you out there that think this coronavirus is a Democratic fraud. I don't know. They're evil like that. It could be. I don't know, but I know that people that's getting it, are they being lied to that they have it? I don't think so. I think they actually have it. Are they actually dying from it, or from underlying causes? I've heard both sides of that it's a conspiracy theory that it's killing them, and not. When somebody dies, that they're just saying it's coronavirus, so the Democrats can add to the total number of deaths that it has already caused. But I'm not sure about that. I've not read anything like that about the Democrats doing that. I mean, they're evil, I know that. The Republican Party is weak, but you still can't vote the Democrats back into office for the president, especially the president, because if that gets back in there, you're going to go back to the days of Obama and Biden. There's going to be no jobs. There's going to be no hope for America for the 4 to 8 years that that's not somebody that's for the economy. But I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to the voters. I know they'll do the right thing if they want this economy to grow. You know, Trump's not exactly your number one pick for the presidency. I'm talking to the Democratic side, the far left. But for some reason, the Hill's got a few lies in there about the colored folks, the colored communities not voting for Trump. There's a reason why they vote Democrat, and I don't get into that right now. I'll save that for another one. But if you go to that hashtag walk away movement, you are going to find a lot of folks, a lot of the colored population are leaving the Democrats. They're walking away from it. And rightfully so, because the Democrats are worse than the Republicans right now. And I don't know what happened to them. They just went crazy when those 3 or 4 new politicians got in, AOC, Tlaib Rashid, and that Omar, whatever her name is. Yeah, when they got in there, it just was awful. They drug them the Democrats to the far left, radical far left. But I'm going to leave that up to you. I know I don't want to see a Democratic president for a while. Not until they come up with some better policies. And you know, if Joe Biden gets in there, it's going back to the Obama-Biden presidency. Either Obama's going to govern it behind the scenes, in the shadows of Biden, or they're going to get something's going to happen. Excuse me. But I'm going to leave that all up to you guys. I'm just bringing you the information that I see. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I'm just bringing you what they say on here. I don't know how favorable the Hill is. That's where this is coming from, that news organization. I don't know how trustworthy they are, I should say. But this is what's there. I'm going to dig a little bit more, and if I get more, I'll bring it to you. In the meantime, do your own research. If you have anything that you have on it, I'll be glad to check it out and post that. If you can find something else on this. Until the meantime, I will catch you in a few minutes. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that like button for me. Come on. All right, guys.